9 o'clock, but I've already got all my work done. Welcome back to the Vodkast. Hey guys, welcome back to the Vodkast. I am so sorry that I have not been around. I've got a lot going on. As you can see, there is a new family member here. His name is Compy. Mr. Compodompoulos is what I like to call him. We had fostered him and his brother for about 3 weeks, and we brought them back to the Lynchburg Humane Society. And they sat there for the weekend, and there was this little pull inside me that said if one of them got adopted, I would adopt the other one for Carol's birthday. Because I know, like me, and like our children, we just love animals. We just love them to death. So when his brother got put on hold, I thought, all right, I'm going to skip out of practice this morning, go adopt Compy, come home, and it'll be amazing. And that's exactly what happened. And it went very smoothly. And I wish I had filmed the surprise, but sometimes when you're in the midst of doing things, kind of like the old Road to 40. I just rewatched the last Road to 40 where I went up for Corey's birthday. Well, the family went up for Corey's birthday, and we were going to surprise him. And a lot of stuff got recorded that didn't have audio, and some stuff didn't get recorded just because you're in the moment. And anywho, the last thing I was thinking of when I was going to pick up Compy and add this new member to our family was, I gotta film this. I got a few things I want to talk about this morning. The first thing is, obviously, I showed you in the intro, is what I've been working on, what I've been doing. And there's a lot more stuff that didn't get seen, stuff that's already put in buckets and tucked away, waiting to be played for. I have found this new passion, and as you guys know, I talked about it in the last video, for making stuff out of this. This is foam. This is pink foam. This is 1/2 inch pink insulation foam. Right here. And what I do is, it goes through steps. Now, the first thing I started doing when I did these, I started painting miniatures. And I'm not great at it, but I'm not bad at it either. If I had the right tools, I think I could do a lot better. I'm not trying to make excuses here. But in the process of looking on how to paint miniatures, or how to successfully, create something that doesn't look like it's just been muddled up, I stumbled across a video about making stuff out of this foam. It can be just tiles, like I'm working on here. Good Lord. This is like phase 1. This is what I started doing, and I started making just generic base tiles. But when I was looking at them, I thought, they could really use like walls. So this is where they kind of evolve to. So you can take a piece like this and stick it together and make your room or your hall or whatever you're working on. So that's what I've been working on. And then I got a little carried away and I did the tavern, and then I've done all these rock formations. I don't know if I showed you these. And this is all going to be used in my D&D game. See, now I run a game for a bunch of my friends. About 6 of my friends get together once a month, maybe twice a month, and we play D&D. You guys know that, obviously. But I started running a game for my boys, which has had its ups and downs. I've had a hard time writing for it. But anywho, this is what I've been doing and not making videos. And I miss making videos. However, sometimes you have to find the right times and places for your passions and the things that you like to do, your free time. This morning, I just wanted to catch you up on what's going on in my world. So, yes, I've been crafting this stuff, but I had a weird dream last night, and it was one of those dreams that you just wake up from, and the first thing I wanted to do was run downstairs and talk about it with Carol and the kids, because it was just strange. So in this dream, I'm sitting in a booth in a bar, a very dimly lit bar, but for some reason, they serve Dunkin' Donuts coffee there. So I order a large, hot coffee, cream and sugar. Comes to the table. I'm sitting, oddly enough, with Gary and Corey, which I haven't really thought about Gary in years. So it's strange that he's in this dream. Anywho, the woman comes over. Corey and Gary have to leave for some reason, so I said I'll go pay and then we'll meet up or whatever. So I go to pay. I come back to the seat. They're gone, and so is my coffee. And I'm thinking, why would somebody take a full coffee? It's still hot and everything. Like, you wouldn't just take a coffee and throw it away. So I go up to the counter or the bar, and I ask this older, kind of snootish looking woman. I said, hey, I had a coffee over on that table. She's like, yeah, I threw it away. I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't done with it yet. Could I get another one? She's like, if you want to pay for it. And I'm thinking, why would you do that? This dream was it was one of those dreams where it's so real. You're like, what is going on? Why am I not staying in focus? So she won't give me another coffee unless I pay for it. And I'm thinking, I am not paying for it. I just paid for this coffee and you threw my coffee away. Why would you do that? And so immediately my brain starts to scheme. I have to find a way to get a coffee. I refuse to leave. I don't care if it's a $2 coffee. I'm going to do everything in my power to leave this bar, which happens to sell Dunkin' Donuts coffee, with my coffee. So the first thing I do is I'm like, all right, if I can get behind the bar, I know they've got a self-serve station. Somehow I knew they had a self-serve station. I can just grab a cup, fill it up, go. I'm gone, I'm out of there, no problems. So I get to the end of the bar and there is a bouncer there. Just some really lazy looking guy sitting on a stool. And we strike up a conversation. He's like, what are you gonna do for Halloween tonight? And I said, well, I'm probably not gonna do much. There's a tornado coming. How I knew there was a tornado coming, I don't know. But we talked for a few moments and I gained his trust and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he gets up, he goes to the bathroom. I go behind the bar. I am digging through everything. I'm like, there's got to be Dunkin' Donuts cups just everywhere. Like, you just pull them out and you just serve your thing. I can't find them. I can't find them. So finally, I'm like, I give up. He comes back. I go out into this hallway behind the bar, and there's a few rooms behind there. People are milling about. It's much more brightly lit. I wish I could show you the dream that I had because it was very stylistic. There was a very lighting played a big theme in it. Anywho, I find this room, and it's a smaller bar. And this older, sweeter-looking woman is behind the counter, and she says, oh, what woes you, my friend? And I come up to the bar, and I said, well, I had ordered a coffee, and the bartender threw it away, like, before I could get back to the table. She's like, well, I'll make you a new one. Hang on a second. But try this. And she hands me this little, like, I don't have any containers here, but they're these little dollar store plastic containers filled with this, like, dark green smoking beverage. Very Halloween-esque. I guess maybe I have Halloween on the brain. And so she turns around, she's gonna go into the back room, and so I sip it, and it is scalding hot. Like, it's some kind of like a green apple drink, and it's sour and it's hot, and these two things in my mouth aren't getting along very well. So she disappears behind the bar, and I wait, and she never comes back. I look behind there, she's not even there. So I go to another room. It's like a janitorial break room, closet, hybrid. There's this balding, probably 60-year-old man sitting watching the news over in the corner, and I ask him, you know, have you seen this woman? And he just won't respond to me whatsoever. So I come back out. I've had it. I've had enough at this point. So I'm going to let the world know, or at least everybody in this bar, that I've been wronged. So I jump up on the bar. I'm like, listen to my story, people. And I start proclaiming what happened about how I had bought a coffee, said goodbye to my friends, went to go pay my bill and grab my coffee. My coffee was gone. No one seems to want to listen except for a few people, including Patton Oswalt, who comes out from behind and he starts talking in a New England accent, like a Boston accent. And one guy across the bar says, that guy's from Massachusetts. And I'm like, hey, I'm from Massachusetts too. He's like, completely ignores me, doesn't care. Anywho, I explained my story. I never get my coffee. I realize they're probably going to call the police on me because I'm standing on a bar raving about where my Dunkin' Donuts coffee went for a $2 cup of coffee. So I jump down, I leave, and I see the police are coming. There's just one officer and one bartender coming up the road. And I see this other guy, and he's heading towards a parking garage. For some reason, we're in a mall. This bar is in a mall. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in a bar in a mall. So I follow this guy out the back door into the parking garage. But the minute I step outside, the guy disappears, the parking garage disappears, and I am in the middle of the woods. And there are 3 paths that are very, like, truck track laden. There's 3 of them going, you know, north, east, and west from me. And they are just covered in mud, and the storm is brewing, and it is getting dark very quickly outside, and it's raining, and I take a few steps, and I'm like, there's nothing. I don't see anything in any direction. So finally I turn around, I'm just like, well, I'll just deal with the consequences. I'm going back in the mall because this is messed up. So I go back into the mall, and when I turn around, and the mall is like a mile away from me at this point. So I'm moving pretty quickly. The storm is building up, the winds are picking up, the rain is coming down. It's dark, dark, almost like night dark, but just enough light that you can see definition in the trees. And I finally make it back, and then I woke up. It was kind of disappointing, but the story arc was just interesting. I mean, like, it's funny how dreams work and how they formulate themselves in your head and where it gets those little bits and pieces of information. Where did Gary come from? I haven't talked to Gary Rigo in years, and all of a sudden he's in my dream. I don't know. If you wanna comment on my dream, or if you know anything about dream analysis, put it in the comments below. I'd love to know what the hell is going on in my head today or last night. I found a coffee. I never spend more than like $3 or $4 on a bag of coffee. I know coffee snobs are going to be like, oh my God, oh, what are you drinking? New England Best? No, actually today I went to Fresh Market yesterday to get their meal deal. It's a $20 meal deal. You get all the parts of a meal, you stick it in a bag, you go to the counter. And they had maple sugar candy, those little, like, the leaves and stuff. I haven't seen those since I lived in Massachusetts. I got this coffee. It's a chocolate raspberry. It's a medium roast. It's pretty good. But it was $10 a pound, and I never spend $10 a pound. But sometimes you just got to treat yourself. I realize my hair is kind of a disaster. I just kind of rushed down the stairs this morning. It was 7:20, and I wanted to see the kids off and see Carol, make her coffee, get her out the door, so that I could do my work, and then sit down and do this. I don't want to get her out the door. That sounded terrible. Anywho, the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I mentioned it on the Vodkast Facebook page, I had said that if the Cherry Cola Oreos won, I would never do another Oreo review again. And so I asked for everybody's opinion on Facebook, and I'm asking your opinion now. Do I stick to my word and that's it, no more Oreo reviews, we find something else to review? Or do I break my word and continue to do the thing I love to do so much? I don't know. I just picked up the apple pie Oreos because they came out and hit the stores yesterday, and all the fall flavors are coming out, and it's so exciting, and pumpkin, and it's still August, and I know it's not fall for another month, but like this morning it was so cool and crispy when I went outside. Carol's like, hey, go out on the porch. And I was like, ooh, this is nice. It's really nice. It's nice. I love that intermediate end of summer, beginning of fall. And then around here, as in most places, fall doesn't seem to last as long as it did when you were a kid. It doesn't. So that's it. I just want your opinions. Do I keep doing them? I've already got 2 keep doing them. Break your word and keep doing them from Tanya and Kim, I believe. So as of right now, I have every intention of probably still doing them. I don't know why I said when I said that if Cherry Cola won, because it's almost disgraceful. The fact that there's enough Oreo lovers out there that take part in this contest and voted for that over like the pina colada. How can the pina colada not win? It was delicious. If you like pina colada, then you should have voted for them. Thanks. Anywho, I got some work to do here. I got some carving, some whittling, some painting, some hot gluing. Check out this thing. This is the coolest thing in the world. I had a 50% off coupon for, I believe it was Michael's or AC Moore. Anywho, this thing is neat. It sucks in comparison to the one that I really want, but the one I really want is like $100, and I can't afford to spend $100 on something that's not making me money. So this is a hot wire foam cutter. Check it out. Boom. Isn't that pretty neat? It's not super practical, because to get a straight cut out of this, you'd have to have it mounted to something and push it through, and the Proxxon saw does that. But it's just kind of neat, because if I want to do like edges or like puzzle pieces or anything, it's fantastic for it. Not like I ever make puzzles out of foam, but you get my point. Anywho, it was originally $15. I got it for $7.50. For $7.50, I wasn't going to turn it down. Even if it smashed the first time I used it, it would have been neat to know if it worked or not. And now that I know, knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe! Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry that I haven't been around. This is just really consuming. When I get attached to one form of art or another, it takes over my life for a little while until I come back to something else. It goes with songwriting, it goes with drawing, it goes with writing, it goes with now sculpting, I guess. Is that what you call it? Nerdcraft. Let's call it Nerdcraft. Hashtag Nerdcraft. Alright, you guys, thanks again. I got some crafting to do, so you guys take care of each other, take care of the world around you, and love the life you live. And I'll see you guys a little bit further on down the road in the next episode. Take care.